Hello and welcome back to the Ketchup Corner. It's been a little while.
It has been. Very much has been. We time traveled into now, and I can tell you, it sucks. It sucks ass, bro. The future sucks. It's so weird. Star Wars now has like 3 Ryan Gosling Luke Skywalkers for some reason, and all 3 of them are called Luke Raywalker. It's really fucking weird. I'm not gonna lie, but here we are. And we got another person with us today. We got a returning guest. Honey, introduce our guest.
Well, he's been on the podcast before for the worst movies he's ever watched, and now
Yes.
we're talking about some good movies?
What do you mean question? What was that question mark? What's that question mark? No.
We'll see how we feel about them.
We'll see how we feel about them. I'm scared. Anyways, it's Ben from Ben's Movie Basement. Say hi, Ben.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Nah.
Yeah, I think Epic Movie's a little bit better than Blade Runner, but you know how.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Wait. I regret everything. Wait a second. Wait. That's wild. Even I wouldn't go that far as a joke. I feel like that's literally just looking at the Sistine Chapel and going, you know what this needs? More Jack Black. And then just nuking the whole thing.
All right,
I'm
this
canceled.
will be
I'm
our...
Okay, it's over. Ben's Movie Basement is canceled. Ben is locked in the basement. It's over. We're so done.
Can't lock him in a basement.
Well, too late. We already just did. It's his basement. He's got movies in there. Why would he complain?
True.
Okay. This will be our last sci-fi episode other than the wrap-up before we jump into the official April month, which we'll talk about in the next episode.
Yes.
But this is our no-theme, the movies that didn't quite fit into anything. I mean, Blade Runner, obviously we're talking about 2 movies that are in a series and then 2 movies that literally have nothing to do with each other.
Now, quite frankly, they do have some themes or crossover of themes before, but let's be honest, that would oversaturate the theme, and that's the last thing we want, but they're still important in what we want to talk about, so... Hence the no theme. It's just a fuck it, do what you want episode. I feel this is the episode where we're teachers. We just tell ourselves, do what you want. I don't fucking care.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't have my Xanax today. I don't care. It's too much. But Ben, you want to give us a little history of you and sci-fi really quick, like your experience with sci-fi and film?
I'm. People will ask me my favorite genre, and it's hard for me to choose one, but I usually gravitate towards sci-fi.
Yeah.
My history, I mean, I feel like this is with everybody, but the first one I really remember watching is Star Wars, because I got the DVD set that came out with all the movies when they re-released it.
That was kind of my experience too. I think we talked about when I was talking my experience, but go on.
And then since then, I mean, I've been watching it my whole life. I love sci-fi with a burning passion.
Hell yeah. What is your favorite sci-fi if you have to pick one? This is where we're going to jump right into it. What's your favorite sci-fi?
Off the top of my head, 3 come to mind. It's Interstellar, Ex Machina,
whoa.
and we'll throw Annihilation in there.
Okay, see, this is why the sci-fi genre needs to come back for a part 2, because those are 3 really fucking amazing movies that I blanked on for some reason when making this list with you, because they're fucking... I remember watching Ex Machina in a film class, actually, which was a lot of fun, so...
Yeah, I think next time we do, like, an overall, like, specific genre, we'll have to do, like, specific subtopics instead of just kind of creating themes for each one.
Honestly, I think we just double up on episodes and do a movie for each episode, or like a series.
We could do
Fuck
that
it. Let's
too.
just go nuts. There's so much sci-fi.
Yeah.
Ben just named 3 amazing sci-fi right there. We could have watched those instead of the original Blob, honey. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, but we needed to watch the original so that I could find the one that I liked.
That's true. We did watch the 1980s Blob, in case you don't know, audience, and that was fucking awesome.
Okay. So like I said, we're talking about 4 movies, 2 of which are connected. They are Blade Runner and Blade Runner 2049.
Are we starting with them right away?
I don't know. What do we want to do?
Do we want to just rip the Band-Aid off? Because I have a feeling this is going to be the hottest topic one. So,
That's interesting that you say that.
I'm going to rip the
Fair
Band-Aid
enough.
off.
Fair enough.
Ben, do you want to do Blade Runner 1 and 2? Do we want to talk about those?
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. So, uh, why don't you tell us about the first movie? Well, to be fair, let's talk about this, audience. This is a rewatch because the first one is 2049 is the first time watch, actually.
Yeah.
So, honey, do you want to explain the first Blade Runner, and then we
Oh.
can get Ben's thoughts on Blade Runner before I say my thoughts?
No, I need you to explain the plot.
Okay, cool. So,
Have fun. Yes.
So, Blade Runner follows our hero Deckard as he is a replicant hunter. Now, in case you don't know, basically replicants are essentially androids. They are the mass production in a dystopian, basically like destroyed Earth, and our hero is following a group of rogue replicants that have come to Earth and are wreaking havoc and are trying to basically start a revolution. That is the simplest way I can describe Blade Runner. I think Ben would agree. I pretty much hit the nail on the head with that one.
The scary thing is you explained the whole movie, but that's only like 5% of the plot, I
That's
think.
basically like the general gist if you wanted to explain it base level to someone
Yeah.
that like genuinely, like, this is the same fucking dude that made Alien, I want to point out. Ridley Scott
Yeah.
from the 70s, like late 70s to 80s, was absolutely insane. Like, to quote another sci-fi movie title, he was the running man running around making all these batshit movies for sci-fi. It's nuts. It's so good, though, but that's like the 5% of the movie. So, Ben, why don't you tell us about your experience and thoughts on Blade Runner?
So Blade Runner was only a first time watch for me maybe a few years ago. It was after I watched 2049 in the theater and went, yeah, I think I need to check out Blade Runner. And I will admit, the first time I watched it, I was like, huh? I didn't really get it.
Yeah.
And then ever more and more times that I watch it, I appreciate it more and more because the name, like, if you write it down, like Harrison Ford playing a cop in a movie called Blade Runner, set in the future, you think it's going to be like this action-packed, like sci-fi, Star Warsy type, but maybe
Yes.
harder edge. It is, it is the complete opposite of that. And you're like, what the hell did I just watch after that first time? That's how I felt, at least.
All right. Interesting. What do you feel now about it, if I may?
I thoroughly enjoy it now. It's still a little too slow for me and a little too philosophical.
Yeah.
But I like that it leaves us in a spot, and even 2049 does this too.
Yeah.
It doesn't answer everything. It gives you just enough to kind of be like,
Well, I guess that's my way to step into the spotlight then for Blade Runner. So, I saw this in a college sci-fi class for the first time after hearing so much vaguely about it. Um, it is arguably also, please excuse Ben dying. He's getting over allergies, as I'm sure many of
yeah,
us are. He is not being taken out back for any wrong opinions on movies ahead of time. This is literally just him dying of allergies. So, but Blade Runner is one of my favorite movies of all time. Dare I say, one of my favorite sci-fi in general.
oh,
This is like up my alley. Like, yeah, it's not as action packed, but I love the musings of this film. I think the
yeah,
cinematography is absolutely gorgeous. It feels alien like without actually being set on an alien planet. And it really shows the biggest thing the sci fi genre likes to show a lot, which is the biggest ruiner of the future is always going to come back to mankind. But also, they are their
right,
own savior and the savior of everything. But it's a god complex thing where if you let that get to your head, it's going to go insane. Much like the creator of the Replicants, essentially, in this Blade Runner series. Well, I think the music's fantastic. I love the noir setting. I think this
yep,
film made me appreciate noir more, which is why I went into The Batman completely ecstatic when that came out and approached a more noir type of move than the action packedness. I think this is like base level a great noir film if you're looking to get into that. Amazing experience as a whole. I again, like you said, I love how it doesn't answer everything, and it leaves it to your imagination to put the things together. There's rewatchability because of that alone. But what really makes it rewatchable for me is just the philosophical musings of what it means to be human and what that could mean in the future as we begin to use replicants, essentially androids, and in the current era right now, AI, to replace humanity. What does that mean? And it answers the biggest question where humans become emotionless. I think it really muses on the human nature. And at some point down the line, if we keep where we're going with our technology, how reversible the roles can be, where the androids and the robots seem a little more lively and the humans have gone through so much they've become numb to it. And it also shows, without showing, some of the most interesting lore in sci-fi, in my opinion. I mean, the monologue at the end, which we'll get into, I'm sure, by Batty, the main villain, I think that's one of the best soliloquies in film, because not only does it paint the grand scale of his motive in a way, but it also shapes the world and really puts into perspective how horrifying it is without showing you it, because you have to put the pieces together and remember and pay attention, like, wait, this doesn't sound as beautiful as it does, because Batty wasn't actually just living, he was fighting, so this is all war shit. So it's a beautiful movie in that regard. It's beautiful to even question things like, was Deckard a replicant? Was he a human? That's still a question people go back and forth on so much. I think the soundtrack's amazing. Vangelis, rest in peace to Vangelis, did an amazing job with the music for Batty's monologue, and especially the love theme. Say what you will about the romance itself, but that love theme is iconic as hell. Genuinely. I think it's iconic as hell for, like, crime films as a whole. It feels like the future while still taking inspiration from the past. But before I keep going on about this film, that is my thoughts. I love this film, and I go back and forth on which is better between this and the sequel, so I'm going to get that one out of the way before we get into that movie. So, what I do know about this movie is the first time I had you watch it, honey, you did not like it. At all. I was so sad. I was like, oh, man, I missed this one. Mm-hmm. I don't miss with media when it comes to her. Like, I've had a very good success rate. So this felt sad. I was genuinely sad. I was like, oh, man. And that was a year or two ago, I should say.
I think sci-fi movies is where we differ on things. You show me, like, a lot of things that I love and have become my all-time favorites. Some genres you like more than I do.
Yeah.
So, but I think I feel very, very similarly to Ben about this movie, where the first time I watched it, I didn't like it because I think I was too stupid for it. Like, I had no idea what was happening. I didn't understand. I was like, I'm reading what's on the screen, but I'm like, what the fuck is a replicant?
Yep.
Exactly what it is.
Yep,
a replicant.
exactly.
Stick with the program. Come on.
But watching it the second time for this podcast, I appreciated it a lot more. I enjoyed it a lot more.
Oh, thank God.
I like it.
We're saved. There's still a God.
No more divorce. You're good.
There's not a divorce incoming. Hallelujah.
I have two things that I did not like about it.
Okay.
One of those is this is a movie that uses very outdated language. They do have a slur for the replicants.
Oh, yeah.
And they also use the N-word with the hard R at least once in the movie.
Oh, I forgot about that. Holy shit.
Oh, yeah.
It is a different time. It's not excusable. But yes, we should let people know that there is outdated language in here.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, that's the first one. I get that one. I forgot the hard R.
I did too.
I honestly forgot about that.
Yeah.
Where the hell was that one?
It was Harrison Ford's character saying it, and he was saying it because his old boss had used the slur for the replicants, and he was saying, oh, he's the kind of guy who would say this about a black person.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting intent, not a good execution. I get it. You know what? That's fair. You know what? It gives me, like, Ben Driver, like, say... At least it's not Ben Driver running after somebody in, what is it, Undercover Klansman, and just saying it 5 different times when the script just said, you're supposed to say it one time, Ben.
Oh my God. Oh yes,
That
yes.
one, yeah.
Adam Driver. I know
Adam
you're saying
Driver.
that.
I combined Ben Solo and Driver. Fuck. Adam Driver. Uh, damn. Star Wars just finds its way back into this month. Okay, what was the other thing? And I definitely feel like I know where this one's
You
going.
did because you just mentioned it.
Oh,
It
the
was the
romance?
romance. Okay,
Whoa.
it felt icky to me. She just learned she's a replicant. She's in a very vulnerable place right now, and you're kind of moving in and just being like extra. It just felt extra pressury to me. Like it did not feel genuine or authentic whatsoever. It felt gross.
It's so interesting because
Interesting.
I
Yeah.
semi agree, but also it's tough because it's at the same time Deckard is like pressuring himself. I feel like because he doesn't know he's a replicant or not. So they both don't know what's going. Clearly, there's something there for them, but no one was willing to take the leap. And I think the issue for me is that while it does feel forced a little, I agree. I think I don't mind it too much, just because this is during the climax where I feel like Deckard was questioning himself as well. The big
So trauma bonding, even worse.
trauma.
Exactly.
But I think
As
for this.
almost
Oh yeah, go ahead, Ben. Go ahead.
as if they were programmed to be together.
See, that's a way to look at it though. And it's interesting because like the way you look at it's so valid, but another angle of this is also valid because quite frankly, that's this type of movie. Like it's definitely icky if you go in kind of like baseline, like, okay, what the fuck is happening? With the saxophones blaring and all that shit. But on another level, though, this is where Deckard's questioning himself. She's questioning herself. Clearly, there's something there between the two, very faintly. No one's willing to make the move because they don't know if they're even real or what they're feeling is real or not. And Deckard's the one to make that leap. It's fascinating to me to look at that angle, especially given the sequel later on, which kind of like, depending on the angle you take with Deckard as a replicant, answers the question or not. So
Right.
that's yeah. So I totally get why you don't like it. I feel like I get it to an extent, but that's why this film has so much to me, where it still feels weird, and it's not excusing it completely, I guess, if you take that angle. But when you look at Deckard's implications as well, it's essentially like you said, trauma bonding, and
Yeah.
it kind of worked. It kind of worked again. So it was an interesting moment. It's an iconic moment one way or another, but it's something. I don't know how you feel about it, Ben, but I want to hear your thoughts too.
And it's funny that because I watched 2049 first, and the way they use her in that movie is like almost perfect.
Yeah.
And it kind of like I felt like she was going to be like this really impactful part on this and she was good, but you know what I don't she didn't um do anything for me in this movie. I don't know how to explain it. She was just kind of
That's fair. I think it
she
had
was
like
fine.
a good like a promise. Like there was promise there. I just don't think the execution.
Oh, I get it. I totally get
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
That's
Yeah.
just kind of like where I'm coming with that. And again, it's not excusing it completely because it is a little wacky when you look and you go, "Hey, whoa, what the fuck? Dinner first." But you know, I like it's not excusing it because again, but also in the universe and the grand scope of the philosophical musings of replicant human, it kind of makes sense, but it's also still iffy. I agree.
Yeah, I also think it's kind of like a product of its time where like this is a time where like women weren't really getting those badass roles
Other than Ripley.
like Ben was just saying that she didn't
Right.
do much and like if you weren't a female that was the main character of your story, you weren't really seen as that badass female character.
Don't be
Yeah.
disrespectful to Kate from Gremlins. Don't disrespect my girl like that. Gremlins 3
she
is coming out
had-
next year.
She had a lot
No,
of
shut the fuck up
promise.
about Kate. Don't you dare. Anyways.
I agree with you about the setting though. I liked the darker tones. I think it worked in this.
Yeah.
It had that little bit of like a grittier underground type feel that I appreciated more on the second watch than I did on the first.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And especially, like I said, I feel like they made this an alien planet without actually going to outer space. Because, again, in this movie, they mentioned so much about going off-world as an escape. and they never go off world because it's an upper class type of thing, and it's you could finally afford to get off this hell. But then that also ties back into my bigger thing where it's not just a paradise, unfortunately. Humanity is actively going to war and conquering other planets. Whatever is on those planets, who knows? But we learned that from the replicants. Which, I mean, Ben, what do you have about the settings before I jump into the characters? Because I'm excited.
I mean, everything technically about this movie, I love.
Mm.
Um, and I love how it's shot too. Like it actually kind of surprised me when I went to Hollywood this past summer. I went to the Warner Brothers lot, and a lot of the city stuff they shot there.
Yeah.
So it like blew me away that those were all like like sets that they built on like a Hollywood lot. Like you would think it's like actually a living place. That's how good it is.
Oh yeah.
And like just the opening shot where I don't know what version you guys watch, but in the final cut where it starts in the city and like those iconic like flames
Yes,
coming up and
that's what we typically watch is the final cut too, yeah.
and you're just like, Jesus. And it's still like if you showed someone it for the first time, didn't tell them anything about it, I mean, they might think it was made yesterday.
Oh,
Still
yeah.
holds up.
Absolutely. And I think it adds, again, the atmosphere adds to the pressure of everything. And it's almost, a resemblance of the world today because, without completely going on fire, because
the advertisements especially.
Yes, I was just going to mention that. One of my original Letterboxd reviews I wrote was of this movie. And I remember seeing the same Coca-Cola ad twice in the span of like 5 minutes, I want to say. But like it felt natural though, because this is what we're growing up with now in a way. I mean, you go to Times Square, that's essentially the same fucking thing.
Yes, exactly.
Like that's the crazy part about it, is that it's not far off, even though we haven't reached the complete breaking point that leads to Blade Runner. But the implications of what led to this point and consumerism, capitalism, and global warming being the downfall of humanity in this, like, there's a lot of shit here to unpack in regards to not just the future, but how we got to this point in the movie without directly saying it, which I really love about this.
You wanna know what's really funny about that future part?
What?
This came out in the 80s, right?
Yeah.
It takes place in 2019.
Yeah.
That's the past for us.
Damn, Benson's a replicant.
Damn. I always knew I was lacking emotions. Actually, no. I'm the shining example of who isn't a replicant. Actually, no, I can't even say that. In this movie, we'll get into that in a second. Replicants show emotions. I would be the case of, yeah, they're a replicant, because you put me on a Bruins game and I start screaming, that's my test right there. Get me to react. You see me scream on sight between the eyes. Replicant. There you go. But let's talk about that, I guess. The biggest part of this, the characters. Because the roles of replicants and humans are on their head after you start to watch the movie after a while. The humans go through a test, the cops, where they basically cannot react emotionally. They have to be stone cold. And they go through these tests and being told rapid fire questions. They can't overthink it. They can't blink. They can't do anything that is sudden movements. Otherwise, that's a trigger that shows you're a replicant, which is interesting to me, given that the emotional reaction is what makes us human. But again, it asks the question how the roles can reverse with this type of road in the future. So, I want to talk about the characters, and I'll leave this up to you guys. What did you think of the characters, especially our replicant villains? Go ahead, Ben. I think she's
okay,
waiting for you.
I'll start.
She was blinking. I'm like, I guess it's Ben.
Letting our guest go first.
Thank you. I love Rick Deckard. I mean, Roy Batty, you brought it up earlier. He's freaking amazing.
Batty was incredible, honestly.
I mean, even like the cast of this movie is great because like I remember every character and they all play their parts so well. Like the eye, like James Hong, who plays
Mm-hmm.
the dude. He does the eyes. He does the eyes. And I remember that scene like, oh my God. And then,
Such a good
and
scene.
especially Tyrell. He's
Oh,
a strange cat. And the guy who plays him, Lloyd from The Shining. Um, yeah, I love,
Tyrell was incredible.
he really was. And I love like when big actors like Harrison Ford level caliber, you forget that they're like great actors sometimes.
Yeah.
Like Harrison Ford is fantastic in this.
He's honestly like it's one of those blockbuster type of actors where it, they get to break the mold every once in a while and it works. It's so exciting to see them
Yes,
do something and then
100%.
they're typecast and it works so well. So, what about you, honey? What do you think?
I don't think there was a single character other than Rachel that I was slightly disappointed in. Not for anything other than like the romance. I just think she could have been like a bigger character.
Mhm.
Otherwise, I think the acting phenomenal, casting phenomenal, the characters themselves all felt like
You three dimensional.
yeah,
Yeah.
really like intricate,
Yep,
like they
I would agree
all
with that.
had something to offer. I don't think there was anything when I was disappointed by.
Was it made it sadder, and would you agree, guys, that when the replicants died, instead of being like this moment like, yes, Deckard got him, like, was it actually sad to watch these replicants kind of go after a while when you realize what's happening here?
Yeah.
I would, I mean, you pretty much just nailed the theme of the movie. It did. Like
Yeah.
at the beginning, you're kind of like, oh, all right, yeah, these are kind of bad people. And then as you slowly go on, you're like, no, no.
Yeah.
That's
Funny.
definitely the first time. Rewatch, it's always sad because, well, actually, even my first
Right.
watch, I felt
True.
some
Yeah.
pity though, because Zora's the name I'm pretty sure. The one that one of the ones Deckard shot first. The way you see the bullet shots though, one on each shoulder, at least to me, is symbolic of like where angel wings would sprout.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like they're fallen angels. They're
Interesting.
fallen from like their replicant kind. I think that was what really sold me at first before we got into it. I was like so excited. The crime stuff was amazing. Deckard, like you said, was such an amazing character. One of my favorite protagonists in sci-fi with Ripley, obviously. Um, but as soon as he shot those bullets and there was that motion shot where she crashes through the glass, it would be fine with one
Yes. Yep.
bullet. But the issue with me, the thing that made me so sympathetic starting then early was the fact that, the shots were calculated, much like anything else character wise or cinematography wise in this movie. Like, Deckard's a brilliant cop, a brilliant shot. He could easily go for the head and this and that. The fact that he shot, like, at least they shot it where he shot both parts of her back shoulders, where typically wings would sprout from, like, an angel or a demon or anywhere else you would say in fantasy or sci-fi films of human-like creatures with different features, like that speaks volumes to me. And I think it really played right away into like the sympathy for these replicants, especially because she was running in fear, and not a fear like I'm about to get caught, but a fear of like I'm finally about to die, which is more human than anything in this world in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
So that brings me then to Batty, the replicant I feel the most bad for. Like, anyone else want to jump on this, or am I going to talk about Batty real quick?
You can.
You got anything, Ben?
Do you love this movie? No.
I hate this movie. I hate this movie. You go ahead, Ben. You got anything?
Uh, he's one of those villains where it's kind of like the Joker, where you're like, God damn, this guy plays a great asshole. But like,
Yes.
and you get to the end and you're like, oh, it just reframes everything. And yeah, Rucker Hauer plays him to perfection.
Yeah.
I seriously like it. It the emotions I felt the first time watching the Tears in the Rain scene, I still feel them every single time.
Oh my god. It's so good. And again, back to the Tears in the Rain. You forget throughout the movie because it's mentioned like nothing, like you're a part of the world naturally, which is another thing I love about this movie is how it eases you into this world. Um, you forget that he's a combat replicant. His purpose wasn't for pleasure or anything else. He was made to help humanity conquer the rest of space. So when he acts all childlike and makes things like a cat and mouse game with him and Deckard, like, that makes it more impactful because he doesn't know anything else other than, like, to just fight. He literally is just a kid soldier, if you look at it that way. He was born into the world for the purpose of fighting. That's it. And that's what makes his ending so sad to me, because when he's telling Deckard and essentially the audience, I've seen things you wouldn't believe, you know, attack ships on the shoulders of Orion, yeah, that's one thing. But then you start to realize there's other, you know, terms thrown at you, and you forget for a second of how beautiful the moment and the scene is shot and the music is, that he's talking about war. Because he talks about sea beams glittering a Tannhauser gate. You don't know these places, but you can picture it in your mind, which is beautiful. But then, like, you realize as he dies, oh my god, he was talking about war. He literally is talking about what humanity will never see, because humanity is too cowardly and lets everything else do the work, which is why him and the other replicants were revolting. They weren't revolting because they were rogue and wanted to conquer humanity. They were revolting because they just wanted to be free and do more than what they were programmed for. And it makes it so much more impactful when he dies as the dove is set free. Like, that was something else. Can I also talk about that? It was unintentionally funny every time to me, but, like, when he's just standing there holding the dove like he's Olympic swimming or whatever, and then he runs and jumps the gate, it's unironically fun. It's, like, ironically funny for a second before you realize, oh, yep, we're back to sadness. But but I think Batty was so well played. And seeing him lose his mind the more he realized he was close to dying, like, and revert to that primal child form, it was something else. Because the entire time, he pretty much had the upper hand on Deckard. Like, at any moment, he could tell him, I'm gonna, like, just snap his neck, it's over. But he made it a game because he knew eventually he was going to die anyways. So he left him alive on purpose to show him of, like, you know, this isn't what you think it is, if it wasn't clear already. Batty is such a complex villain for that, because there's so much to unpack, especially in that final quote-unquote fight scene, but I'm just going to call it a chase scene. Deckard's being chased the whole time. Like, it's played off like it's a fight, and maybe Deckard will get the upper hand, but watching this film, it's just a chase scene. Deckard's fleeing for his life, honestly. But I really just fucking love Batty. I love this movie so much.
I think you could go on and on about this movie.
Yeah.
We've
This soundtrack is amazing,
we
by
are
the way.
at a half an hour, and we've only been talking about one out of the 4 films.
It's fucking amazing.
It's like how Connor needs to write a book on Ghostbusters. You need to write a book on Blade Runner.
Blade Runner's just fantastic. There's so much to unpack, and it's one of those movies that I wrote a review for on Letterboxd that I want to talk more about and rewrite
or just
something.
play the tabletop game.
I do have the tabletop, actually. Actually, Ben, I meant to tell you, I have the tabletop of Blade Runner if you're ever interested.
My jaw is on the floor right now.
Yeah, I found it at a local store, and I have the module. Connor's been begging me to run a Blade Runner module, so if you're on board, I would love to have
Okay.
you.
Yeah, I'm in.
For sure. All right, if there's nothing else of the first film, aka I'm going to stop talking now, let's talk about the sequel, which I go back and forth on being better or not.
I was nervous about this one.
Really?
Because our friend Harrison Ford has been in some legacy sequels that were not so good.
Womp womp.
Yeah.
2 of which are the series he's been typecasted for.
Yeah, 2 of which we've talked about.
Womp womp. Both times. Just a swing and a miss. So, well, actually, let's talk about that first. He's not even the main part of this legacy one. The main casting is another officer played by everyone's favorite Ken, Ryan Gosling.
Woo!
Which is
He is Officer K in this movie. Yeah.
I was going to say that, actually. It's funny because he's Officer K, and then he played Ken in Barbie, and now he's back to being in space with Project Hail Mary. So it comes full circle. So it really does for Ryan Gosling. What an actor he is.
He is such a versatile actor.
Yes.
He
He
can
is.
play in anything. Ken in Barbie. He's amazing in action movies, sci-fi movies. Like, there is nothing that man can't do.
So
Has he been in a rom-com yet?
I think he has.
Yes, yes,
Which
Crazy
one?
Stupid Love. Yes,
Oh,
Okay.
right.
Oh,
that
yeah.
movie's awesome.
That one's
Yes.
good. So I'm assuming you liked Ryan Gosling in this movie, honey, based
I
on
did.
that.
And this casting, amazing. Chef's kiss. There were so many
Mm-hmm.
amazing actors, and then there was Jared Leto.
Yeah.
If I have an arch nemesis, it is that man.
Yeah. I mean, I'll give it this. This is the most quote unquote likable role I have for him because I think he genuinely did a good job acting because they just casted Jared Leto. They casted a man with a god complex. There you go.
And they used him just the right amount, I think.
Right.
Exactly.
I
Very
agree
little.
actually. Do you agree with that, honey? Just the right amount of Jared Leto?
Yes, as little he is on the screen, the better.
Yeah.
It's that same mysticism that made Tyrell so interesting, though. But, like, now it's essentially the successor for the replicants, right? That's what's
Right.
nuts to me. So, it's that same type of mysticism, but in a way, and I was reading up on Blade Runner, like, thematics for this because I love this movie to death as well. It's so interesting because a theme that apparently a lot of people talk about is the idea of fertility in this movie.
Yeah.
Because Jared Leto is a dude that literally cannot... It essentially is jealous because people can do what he can't. Which is why he's after the main star of the show, a child born from a replicant.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's the plot.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole crime chase sequence of where's the replicant child?
Mm-hmm.
And guess whose it is? Harrison Ford!
Yeah.
Which I liked that. I liked that they tied this sequel in using that plot device and like bringing back those characters, that character, because we don't see Rachel.
Well, we kind of do.
Kind of, but
And it ties back
Right.
to it kind of ties back to the romance thing in a way.
Mhm.
Because that scene fucked you up, I saw when you were watching it.
yeah.
Because Deckard, you think, is going to fall for it, but he actually really shows that despite how weird that romance was in the first movie,
That he loved her.
he genuinely loved
Yeah.
her when they figured their feelings out, because the whole jaw-breaking moment, I feel like, was when he gets back and he goes, her eyes were green, by the
green."
way.
That was my favorite scene in the
was,
movie.
That was such a good movie, and I think that's a subtle way to show the difference between replicants and humans, is that Deckard, a human in my opinion, and you could debate this as well, because it's still an open-ended thing, but Deckard showed he had a really good memory for a human. Like, emotion-based memories that he cares about.
Yeah.
And I don't think a replicant could technically do that in this movie.
And that's like the one thing that a lot of people say, like, what do you fall in love with first? Like, it's, you could say, yeah, like, I loved her body, but it's usually like the eyes that tell you
Yeah.
the whole story. So to use that line to say her eyes were green,
Yeah.
like, that shows that there was a lot more to the romance that we could have gotten in the original.
And it's crazy, too, because, again, like, the original film was all about eye contact and reading someone through their eyes, which is continued in this movie. So, of course, the eye contact is so fucking important and ties it all together, which is nuts to me. So, yeah. Anyways, first thought, we've already dived into some of the stuff. Ben, what are your thoughts on 2049?
I love it. This is one of those movies where everyone's hyping it, and you're like, okay, yeah, all right, prove it to me. You walk out with your jaw hanging on the ground, and you're like, that was fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, like, it's such a perfect sequel because it expands on everything from Blade Runner, and it doesn't give you any answers to Blade Runner, it's freaking genius. Like, it's the use of Deckard too was perfect. The use of callbacks and quote unquote fan service, everything played to the story. Nothing was useless. And then when the movie ends, you're just like, God damn, like, with Kay and his storyline, and the movie has the balls to go, oh, this generic story of you thinking Kay is the son the whole time. yeah, no, that's not it at all. He's just like a loser replicant. And you're like, what? That's I was like, hell yeah. Yeah,
That
I
blew my
love this movie.
mind. That one blew my mind too.
Yeah,
And
and I think
oh sorry. Yeah, this was the movie that introduced me to Roger Deakins. Thank
Oh
God.
yes.
Because the cinematography on this one is like every frame I want tattooed on my ass. Like, goddamn, I love this movie.
The drowning scene, put it on my ass immediately. I want one cheek fucking K, the other one choking out a bitch. There you go. Clench them cheeks, it's a canvas. Fucking. Anyways, I agree. I like the cinematography in this. I think what really sold me, especially in the cinematography, which A, I love it in general, but B, the fact that the second half, when he's going through like this desert setting looking for Deckard, just how Mars like everything looks.
Yeah,
Oh my god,
yep.
that was beautiful.
The colors were immaculate.
The neons popped. Anything that wasn't neon popped, but in a duller fashion, which felt like an exact comparison to humanity and AI and the replicants. I just thought everything was. What did you think, honey?
I think I know you're still on the fence about which one you like more. I think I like this one more.
Wow.
Only because I understood it. It like I didn't have to watch it more than once to fully understand and get into the story.
You could read.
I could read. I mean, I couldn't because honestly, the font in that, like, thankfully I was watching it on my phone because if I was watching that on any kind of screen, like the beginning font, it's so fucking small. I'm like, I need glasses. I mean, I do need glasses, but I would have needed like a really, really, really strong prescription to read that.
Imagine some 60-year-old fan sitting there in the stands. The hell's going on?
It's me.
Where are we?
It's me. I'm the 60-year-old fan.
Oh my god.
Uh,
Where the hell's going? Our guy sucks. But it's such a beautiful movie. I agree with Ben though.
No, I liked this one so much. Again, the casting, perfect. Like there were so many faces that I recognized in this that I'm like, okay, this is gonna be a great movie. And then Jared Leto.
How did you feel about, like Ben touched on, the plot twist about Kay and the plot twist for Deckard's kid? How'd you feel about that?
You
whole
guys are
thing?
gonna think I'm crazy or that I'm lying, but I did kind of see it coming. It
Really?
felt a little obvious that it was gonna be Kay. That it turned out to be the memory maker that I didn't see coming.
Yes, that's the huge thing.
Yeah, that I had no
yeah,
idea.
and it made sense too. Like,
Yeah.
if you rewatch it, you're like, oh, duh. Like, it's all right there.
It really is and that's what I love about this duology. It puts things in plain sight without putting things in plain sight at the first watch. And I think that's the mark of a brilliant piece of
Yes.
media,
Yeah.
when everything is there in plain sight, but you have no idea yet until the end.
Yeah,
And
it's
then you
that
look back.
foreshadowing without making it super obvious.
I
that
know.
It's foreshadowing.
It's not holding your hand. It's letting you experience the world, and then you get your answer, and then you piece everything you know about the world together before rewatching and go, oh, I gotta see this again in a new lens. Like, it's so interesting. Okay, so here's my question about this film too, because we touched upon it. Ben, you even said it. You thought the film was too philosophical for your liking in the first movie. How do we feel about the musings and the teachings brought over from the first film to here and its own teachings? Is it the same? Do you guys feel like it was more approachable in that regard? Because I love both, no matter what. But I see why you don't like the philosophical approach on several layers in the first one, too, honestly, guys. But how do you feel about this one's handling of said philosophical musings and how it balanced not just its own musings, but clearly, as Ben said, unresolved questions and expanding on them from the first movie? Whoever wants to tackle that first, go for it.
To me, it felt like this 2049 did more showing than telling. Like, Blade Runner was very like a character would show up and they'd be like, the flame burns at midnight, and then walk away. You're like, what the fuck did that just? You're like, what? um, but yeah, like 2049 was like, it did a lot with imagery and especially with Kay. it's a lot of him groping a hologram, and you're like, what is the point of this? And then you go back and you're like, oh, that makes total sense now.
He
It
he
just
he did grope a hologram. That is the
Okay,
thing.
the relationship. We can talk about that too.
Wait. You gotta answer the question. Answer the philosophical before we talk about the boobs.
Fine.
Philosophical music's first. Titties after.
but
Go ahead, Ben. Finish what you were saying.
that's pretty much it. It's just like it's it it does what Blade Runner does, almost exact, but just better to me.
Okay.
No, I agree. I think there are differences in the way that it approaches the philosophicalness. I think the first movie was a lot more like open. It's more talking about the philosophy of the world. This one is more like inner philosophy, like we're experiencing it
Yeah,
more from Kay's point
that's
of
true.
view than like an outer world, so it makes it a little bit more focused.
I think one of the biggest scenes is when the hologram or like the ad for like sex literally is talking to him, being like, "Oh my god," like basically saying, "Come find me," and he's just staring at it. So
Yes, yeah.
right before he goes saves Deckard, like basically like it's his turning point. I thought that scene was amazing too. That was a wild scene where, like you said, Ben, it did a lot of showing instead of telling. Again, going back to Ryan Gosling's acting, that scene really changed the perspective of the movie. That was phenomenal from him, honestly. And he didn't even say a
Yeah,
fucking word in that part.
This was another
I'd agree.
relationship that I wasn't sure about at first. And that scene that Ben just brought up, I was like, does this really need to be in here? But like, yeah, I mean, it had a point. I get it.
It was a trippy sex scene.
It was
that's
just a
for
trippy
sure.
scene.
Yeah.
My issue with it is it sent me into sensory overload because you can see like two sets of hands moving on him, and I'm like I don't
Right, yeah.
like this.
You were
I don't
so
like
confused.
this.
You were like,
I
help.
don't love it.
You were like, send help.
Yeah, I was like, no, I don't like any part of this. I don't like that I can see multiple hands moving in different directions. I don't love this right now.
I think
This
I
is
walked
weird.
in at that scene
You
specifically
did.
after work, and I just see your face going, what the fuck?
I'm like, I don't like it.
It was trippy. I was like, oh my, and I literally could see your eyes going wide, like sensory overload. I'm like, she's tripping out. I was like, she didn't take the shrooms, but she is fucking tripping out right now.
But I liked
And
the relationship. I mean, like, it was definitely a different relationship than in the first one. But I kind of liked this relationship more than the original.
Yeah. I mean, I agree, actually, with that one. It felt more natural, and it did...
Which is weird.
It's very weird to
Because
say
she's a
that.
hologram. But, I don't know, you could just feel that there was genuine love there. Whereas with Kay and Deckard, it was more like... Or, not Kay and Deckard, I mean...
What the fuck?
I mean, listen, they're not really I can ship them. Rachel and Deckard. With them,
I need somebody to do a search
situation.
real quick and delete every fanfic of that one. Dear God.
That's insane.
Going to add 10 more stories.
Please don't. I feel like the whole plot point of getting a replicant pregnant, along with the unresolved plot point of is Deckard a replicant or not, has led somebody on Tumblr to go, male pregnancy.
Oh, 100%.
And I hate that. Listen, any other time it's funny,
no.
ha joke. For this movie, I'm like, don't touch my sacred religion. Don't fucking do that.
For real.
I literally look and go, all right, that's enough. Officer, it's this one right here. But I agree though which is weird. But again, it goes back to the original philosophical point. Who really is more human in the end? The replicant and the robots, or the humans? Mm-hmm. Because the fact that you were sitting here saying a relationship with an AI was more natural than the possible human is wild.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
But it serves a purpose, though, going back to the first movie and how it ties every point together for both of them. It's genius in that regard. Like, it's gorgeous. It's got a killer soundtrack with vibes and callbacks to the original music as well in many ways.
Yes, 100%.
And again, it's so beautifully acted. And honestly, with how humanity is with AI right now and what's going on and how many times we see things of like, oh, sex robots are here or combat robots are here. It's not far off from this. And like, also adding to that, the AI stories where like AI is, some people like talk about Gronk going off script, quote unquote, kind of questioning itself. We're reaching that point of Blade Runner without Blade Runner actually here. And I think that's nuts to think about. But also, it's such a great duology. And it's honestly, in my opinion, one of the best examples of like a movie that should be used for a philosophy class, especially with the symbolism of the unicorn. I think that's amazing. Back to the first movie. I love these films. I don't know if it's better than the first or not, but it does so much right in its own way that Blade Runner doesn't. And it's such a good fucking film. It's genuinely amazing. And it's one of those ones I wish I got to see in theaters, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Something that I do want to talk about, and it's not like specifically about this movie, but it does have like a big dealing with this movie, is you mentioned rewatchability before. This movie is almost 3 hours long.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
well, I was just thinking about it when I was like watching a lot of these. All 4 of these movies are over 2 hours long. More of them like closer to 2.5 hours. Like, yes, they're rewatchable, but a lot of them, like the pacing, and we'll talk about this in another movie coming up in a little bit. But just, like, at what point does a really long movie like this not have that rewatchability?
I'll answer it for you. Not with Blade Runner. Like, would you agree, Ben? Oh no. This backfired. Shit.
I played the fifth.
I gotta go. Oh shit. Okay, maybe I'm the psychopath here. Maybe I'm the replicant. Okay, this is bad.
I will say this: I could watch 2049 again and again, just visually alone, like even without sound.
Yeah.
But the first one is it's a little bit like, oh wait, what? Sorry.
I see where you're coming from though, because as much as I love this film, one of my gripes is 1 or 2 scenes maybe could have been cut down. Mm-hmm. But I honestly don't mind these slow burn movies because it allows these moments philosophically to like stew more instead of popping in your face. Blade Runner 2049 definitely picks up the pace, even though it's nearly a 3-hour movie in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, and that is a good way to look at it. Like, your argument for it is that even if you watch it 2, 3, 4, 5 times, you're gonna come away with a new understanding every single time.
And especially with Blade Runner 2049, they're wasting no time. They're not introducing philosophical musings. Yes,
right.
They're introducing their own, but it's not as pungent as the original movie, which they introduce in this one, sure, but it ties everything together, though. And you come into this with the understanding, mostly, that you've watched the first film. There's no need to introduce these type of things. So that's what's interesting to me about this, at least. So I will argue both are extremely rewatchable. I digress either way, though. What do you think, honey?
Yeah, agreed.
Agreed?
I mean, again, like, I would rewatch them. I just don't think I'm going to rewatch them again and again and again and again because of that 3 hour.
Fucking your loss. Your loss.
3 hour.
More for me. Hell yeah. What about you, Ben?
I could rewatch them, not over and over, but I have to really be in the mood to watch like this type of sci-fi. So.
That's so valid, though, honestly. That is so valid. All right. I guess that's it for this duology. Overall, impressive, honey?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I was very happy that I liked it more the second time I watched it.
All right. Well, all right, let's talk about the other films or whatever, I guess. We're about 54 minutes in. Who cares about these other 2 films?
Do we want to do Independence Day or Space Odyssey?
Never mind. Oh, shit. I forgot Space Odyssey was in this episode, too, for a second. Oh, my. Go ahead, Ben. Which one do you want to do first?
Let's continue with the philosophy. Let's go 2001.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to start with this one.
Okay, go ahead and start. She has a face.
Because I need you to
I
listen
can't wait.
I need you to listen to everything that I say before you get mad at me.
Oh, here we go. What, you didn't like the fucking monkeys?
Listen to what I'm saying before you get mad.
Wait.
Okay.
I appreciate this movie.
Sure.
I love it visually.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was made, it came out in the 60s?
70s, early
70s?
70s, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
It's phenomenal. It makes even some movies that were made this year look like dog shit. It is wonderfully made. It is, I would say, wonderfully acted, but there isn't much acting in it because 90% of what you're watching is a combination of white noise and classical music. And that's not a bad thing. Nothing about this film is bad in any way. That is not what I'm saying. What I am saying is it makes me want to sleep. And it's not because it's boring, but like, what do they tell you if you're having a hard time sleeping? Put on white noise, put on classical music. They're going to make you fall asleep. That is all that I wanted to do while watching this movie. And it's really more like silent film meets a full-length feature. And that's really all it is. And it just spent a lot of time showing off the technology that we were coming into in the 70s than actually telling a story. But that's not a bad thing. Like, I do not hate this movie. It's just that kind of movie where I don't feel strongly about in either direction.
What the fuck? Why are you disrespecting the monkeys like that? We had a great opening sequence with monkeys, and you're gonna tell me you fall asleep during that? You fell asleep during the space fetus?
I'm sorry.
What?
But the Star Child. Think of the Star Child, damn it.
Damn it. Think of the star. The monkey threw up the bone, and it became a spaceship, essentially. Evolution.
Oh no, you know what? There is something I want to talk about. There is one scene that I want to talk about before we get into anything else. Okay, there's one scene.
All right, what's on the menu for Benson a la pissed off?
And it's a scene where the guy is like, it's towards the beginning of the 18 months later, and he's working out in his little
Oh,
spaceship.
yeah.
And his shorts really fucking small. And at one point, the camera is like down, but it's angled up. But it's angled up like knees up. And he's like running, and I'm like, listen, that man is one wrong move away from flashing all of us.
From seeing his HAL 9000. Yeah.
God forbid Hal want to see some cock and balls, I guess. I don't know. Fuck, dude. I can't believe that. Anyways, this movie.
Anyway, now proceed, you two. That's all I have to say about it.
Go ahead, Ben. You go ahead and start first.
Oh my Lord, that was so funny. The funniest part about that is you're not wrong at all. But
yeah,
you watch this movie again and again, and you're like, why am I still watching this? And then you get to the end, and you're like, that was kind of amazing, but I kind of want to take like a 3-day nap now. Like, you're like, holy crap! Like, it is the closest thing we ever. Like, when people say motion picture or like art, like this movie is literally like what people must have felt like looking at the Mona Lisa the first time. You're like, what am I like?
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if I love it. I don't know if I don't care for it, but I appreciate it.
I think I love it, honestly, because it definitely is like. If Blade Runner's approach to philosophical musings was light action with like a deep cut character driven moment where like the characters drive the philosophy, this is the opposite end of the spectrum where you get your philosophical musings from the world itself and how you feel in that moment. It's basically like here's how I feel about it. It's like Alien if you take out the scary alien. And it's hear me out.
Pretty much.
Yeah. like, you're in this spaceship. Like, there's a villain, technically, in HAL, quote-unquote. But why are you pouting?
Because they killed him.
Yeah.
Did you
I
like
cared
the
about
robot?
that scene. He made a mistake. So you kill a couple people. It doesn't mean you should die. What? Hey, man.
I've
Nobody's
never
perfect.
heard, and I never heard such elegant advocacy for the anti-death penalty, I guess. Cool. I'm going to quote Hal. Why do you hate the death penalty? Because let's be honest here, if Hal was here, would you do it? No, I don't think so.
I wouldn't do it.
Hal made a mistake.
He
okay,
did.
I'm just saying, but
He was gonna get better, he promised.
but Daisy, all for the love of you. That was fucking nuts.
That was mean.
That was nuts, that one. I was like, oh, I'm sad. I was like, that's nuts. But
Yeah.
where I'm going this, where it's alien without the scary alien, is it makes you feel like Ripley and the crew. You are isolated in space, and there's nowhere for you to really go except for your own thoughts in a way. And the weird minimalistic tech, like everything is, it's like that scene in SpongeBob where everything's chrome in the future. Everything's minimalistic. And wow, that's not far off from this future either. Kellogg's. Anyways. I got mad. I hate minimalism in culture now. I hate it. Anyways, but it's basically that, where, like, there's not a lot of jagged edges or, weird places to go to, like, feel something different. You're stuck in this weird, almost padded room without it being a padded room. It's basically like it's like a padded room became a giant hallway. And there's no end in sight because it all looks the fucking same. And it really tests the human brain and human mind in this setting. And I think that's brilliant because, again, human evolved from a simple monkey and made all of this. Now, granted, it's like with the help of aliens, technically, those pillars being the driving point every time there was a new step of evolution, mind you.
Right.
But like, they evolved from something that could comprehend the world around them and make something out of nothing, like the bone, for example. Now, humanity's at a point in a crossroads in evolution where they can't do that as much, but also they just feel things more and are more self-aware in a horrifying sense. It's fascinating. What once was a creation of God has a God complex itself with Hal and the bigger universe around them, in a sense. And I think that's really fucking cool.
I don't disagree with you. I
Right.
think I was falling asleep too often to fully understand that message.
The fucking monkeys!
Yes, exactly.
I wasn't falling asleep during the monkeys.
Actually, this is a funny story. I watched this movie, too, for college, for sci-fi film class. And I remember, I'm like, do you want us to try to watch this with me before work? And she goes, sure. I think you only saw the first 20 minutes. She sees the fucking monkeys walk on, and she goes, I thought this was about space. And sits there, watching these monkeys hooting and hollering, losing their shit, clapping, going, big bone, big bone. And she's sitting there going, what are you watching? And I look at her and I go, this is art. What do you want?
I didn't love that scene just because of the sensory overload that the music became.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
Sensory overload.
It's like piercing, yeah.
It's so nuts. And I remember her, as I was saying, it's pure art. All of a sudden here,
Yeah.
Yeah, your mom.
Honey, this is art, I swear.
it's literally basically like the typical film bros that show their girlfriend Godfather and go, I swear,
Yes,
this is a
exactly.
masterpiece. This was my moment. And I looked and I was like, I've become what I hate, dear God.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
no.
rewatching it tonight for this episode, and your mom walks in and she's like, goes, what the hell is that noise? I'm like, it's the TV.
Monkeys! The evolution of mankind is told by Stanley Kubrick. That's what it is, Mom.
You can tell your mother that when you see her next.
I'm gonna make sure to text her that and be like, what you heard was art. Cinema. But I think Kubrick making this a minimal dialogue type of film was a brilliant move. because it does showcase the technical front, like you said, of this film, quite frankly. And if anything, I feel like it showcases the aliens who we don't directly see in this movie. The ones that are always dropping these pillars and are harmonizing when evolution's about to happen. Because nothing happens, really, unless the Homo sapien evolves. You know? That's what's interesting. All right, shut the fuck up. But that's what's interesting to me, is that there's always chaotic noise when there's a breaking point in the evolution chain into the next part for humankind. We don't get anything otherwise. We just get the next stage with that evolution stage grappling with its self-identity. And it's one of those cases where, like, I don't think we'll ever get the answer to what those aliens are. And I love that about this film. We can imagine it all we want based on how we interpret aliens. Kubrick's never going to tell us. First of all, he's fucking dead, so he definitely can't tell us. Secondly, it's up to the imagination, much like if Deckard's a replicant or not. So that's what I find interesting. Ben, do you have anything to say about any of that? Even though I know you're kind of the same boat where you're like, I fell asleep during Monkey.
Well, the thing is, you bring up a good point where I don't feel like this movie has like a theme or like like Stanley Kubrick's like, I'm gonna write this and it's gonna be like what I want to say. It's very like, I'm just gonna show you things and let you come up with whatever you think this means. And like every scene is like another picture, and you're like, whoa. And like you can literally dissect every scene, and someone will take something different from it.
Yeah.
It's the whole movie's like that, and you're like what crack was he on to like think of this stuff and for it to make sense?
It's so weird.
And you're like,
it's like when you go to an art exhibit and you see like this really nice painting, and everyone's like, I wonder what it means, and it's just the artist cleaning their brushes.
yes.
Yeah, you were saying no, Ben.
that's pretty much it. I mean, that nailed it. I couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah.
Are we really? Is this how we're going to talk about one of the greatest sci-fi films of all time? Yeah, I almost fell asleep, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's like,
I put on a fan, and at 3 a.m. I fell asleep finally. Thank fuck.
To put on a fan.
And it's interesting because the way you're describing the monolith is different than what I've heard before. Like, I always viewed it as like kind of like a symbol of how humanity's changed. Like right when the monolith first appears, the monkeys start killing each other and take the bone, blah blah. And then later on, you see like people start studying it, and it's like how we've evolved, but kind of not at the same time.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's an amazing way to put it, honestly. And then Space Fetus.
That we will eventually become.
Oh, I can't wait to become a space fetus. That's gonna be
awesome.
I can't wait to pass you all my little fucking
just floating and shit.
I'm gonna pass you all my little embryo bubble and be like, "What's good, guys?"
God, I hope that never happens.
You're gonna die first, honey, and then you're gonna be like, man, I'm getting the hang of this thing. And all of a sudden you see a bubble come up from space, and I'll be like, I fucking found you, honey!
Oh, shit.
This giant, bald-ass baby with my voice, you're gonna be like, ah, shit.
I would pop your bubble.
What would happen if the bubble popped?
I would
Do they die?
I don't know.
Do
I
they
would
get
pop
reincarnated?
it and find out.
Like, now I want to know, actually. Shit. Can someone please bring Kubrick back from the dead? Can I cast speak with dead so I can answer this question?
Maybe that's what happens if you pop the bubble.
They die?
Maybe they
Oh
get
my God.
reincarnated.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Okay,
shit.
Can we all say though, I think one of the best feats in this film was that final sequence where he passes between colors quite literally. How incredible is that finale?
There's a reason why almost every sci-fi movie that involves space travel has a scene like this.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's basically the mother for hyperspeed travel that we see in Star Wars
Yes.
without being hyperspeed. It's insane.
100%.
I love it so much. Okay, well, this is easier to talk about, I
Yeah.
guess. Cool. I guess I had a lot more to say, and y'all were just like, I'm gonna fall. You're like, Space Odyssey.
Sorry.
Okay, anything else you want to say, honey?
No, I do. Again, I appreciate it. I do think it's a great movie. I just don't have a strong opinion on it either way, I guess.
Which is valid.
I don't have a strong love for it, but I don't hate it.
All jokes aside, I totally understand why you guys are like that.
It's like it's 2.5 hours long.
With classical music and white noise, yes, I
Classical
know.
music and white noise. And literally about 2 hours of that is the classical
It's
music and white noise.
sometimes when I watch it, I'm like, is that the point he's trying to make? Is that we're like too dumb to like sit here and just watch something? Maybe, God, maybe we are screwed. I don't know.
That's so fair.
I mean, I was gonna say, how many people look at Space Odyssey now and don't talk about it nuanced like you guys, but go, this film fucking sucks.
Yeah. I mean, I think
Yeah, that's different. Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest here. I feel like the new generation would like this film more if there was Subway Surfer gameplay on the bottom
Oh,
of
no.
the screen.
gosh.
Conan
And like
O'Brien,
AI voice describing what's going on. Yeah.
Conan O'Brien may have been onto something when he made that joke at the Oscars. Love that man.
Oh,
He was onto
yeah.
something though.
It's
But
true.
yeah. Again, this is also one of my favorite sci-fi films. I have a very diverse range of what I consider some of my favorite films. You got this one and Blade Runner, which are very different philosophical musings, and then David Bowie's Dancing with Puppets. That's 3 of my 4 favorite films of all time, ladies and gentlemen. Don't even get me started on the fucking killer alien from the fucking Xenomorph. And then if you go into top 5, I got a giant nuclear lizard that's basically showing Indomitable Human Spirit. Sequel coming out this fucking November. Be ready for that, chat.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is another one of my favorite sci-fi films, and I think it made me appreciate the world building of a sci-fi film more than anything, because there's some good worlds obviously in sci-fi, but there's barely a film like this that challenges the human mind to piece together this world without it being told to you. Like, it literally is. I don't feel like it's Kubrick completely telling the audience they're stupid, but it's basically him giving a half-solved puzzle of like 100 or 500 pieces. He did half of it and going, here, now you do the rest. And just throwing you into this without any idea, and is like having you piece it together as you go. I think it's an interesting approach, and I think it stands the test of time. And it works. Like, even if you don't feel strongly for it, honey, you still like the film and took something away.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most important part, is that even if you don't fully understand it, there's something here. You just gotta watch it instead of, like, sitting there looking at it, as I feel like a lot of people do now with films.
Yeah. You tell him, honey.
Yeah, I'll say it again. But anyone else have anything about this movie?
No.
No, I don't think that's it for me.
All right, well, let's talk about the easiest film then, Independence Day. Go ahead. We just had these big philosophical musings, and now we're going to talk about Independence Day.
Yeah, we'll end
All
it
right.
on something a little lighter.
Lighter? Yes.
And by lighter, I mean alien destroying planets.
And the White House.
And the White House.
Yeah.
Bill Clinton, no!
We pretty much just described what it's about. It's a movie that takes place during the weekend of Independence Day, the 4th of July. And aliens are trying to murder the planet.
Again.
Again.
No Ice Cube this time.
Oh no.
Ben.
No Amazon Prime.
No Amazon Prime. No drone. There's no drones. There's no drone delivering my USB. Damn it. I hate that film so
Oh
fucking
my
much.
God.
I hate that film so much. Ben, what are your thoughts on Independence Day, my friend?
So believe it or not, this was a first time watch for me.
Wow.
It was one of those ones because I'm not a big Will Smith guy.
Oh, fair.
Yeah, I get it.
And like some of those like ones that everyone says you have, this was just one of the ones that fell through the cracks all those years. But yeah, I didn't care for this really at all. There was only a few parts that stood out, like Jeff Goldblum,
Yeah.
And then the speech that Bill Pullman gives is badass.
Mm.
And I appreciated that just about everything was practical in this movie. The effects still hold up. Um, that was about it.
They got a real UFO for this. Bring it on in. So
It
yeah.
yeah, the movie had it had no sauce in my opinion. Like there was no
Yeah.
things kind of just happen and
Yeah.
characters kind of just show up and you're like, okay. And then even the fights are kind of like, I don't know, like the action is not great.
Yeah. I feel like they tried so hard to make the aliens seem so unbeatable that it just kind of took away from the moment for a bit before the revelation of we can kick their ass. Like, this is like, I feel like this was, and I kind of agree. I like this film. I don't particularly feel strongly for it. I feel like it's tough because as much as you don't want to typecast somebody, Will Smith in a movie like this is always 50-50.
Yeah.
I feel like this film, you either get funny Will Smith or you get sci-fi acting Will Smith, and both can be a coin flip. I feel like this one landed kind of like teetering, spinning on its edge, where it can go either way depending on how a scene goes. I think for the most part his acting is pretty decent in this, though. I just, again, I kind of agree. I don't feel strongly. This is the part of like the alien genre that we had in our lineup, honey, where I'm glad we made this a no theme because it's such a stark contrast to the other alien films, like Alien, like that had so much to say about aliens, and even Men in Black, where they were funny, but they still served a purpose of like more than just alien invasion. This is just typical alien invasion. So
Yes.
I'm kind of glad this was a
Exactly.
no theme thing, and I feel like me saying that out loud kind of put it a little less in my favor because as much as I do like this film, I can't help but think, but War of the Worlds does it better. Well, not Ice Cube. Hold on, put the phone down. Not Ice
Yeah.
Cube. Not Ice Cube.
Whoa.
But War of the Worlds, not Ice Cube, does it better.
Well, I haven't seen that one, so right now all I'm picturing is Ice Cube.
Well, I mean, the tripods are like a genuine threat in this without feeling like the story drags on. I mean, then there's Ice Cube where you fucking who cares about those? But I just feel like the tripods were something unique to the alien invasion in some way. Here, it's just aliens, you know.
And they were terrifying
They are.
in War of the Worlds.
Yes, exactly. Like, it combines what I like about Jean Jacket and how otherworldly Jean Jacket sounds with the unbeatableness of, like, other
Yes.
alien movies. I think that's why the tripods are, like, so iconic even to this day. The book does them favors, sure, but I think the movie really encapsulates why those type of aliens are horrifying. Here, it's just, here's a UFO. Bye, Bill Clinton.
Bye, Bill Clinton.
Yeah, this film came out during Bill Clinton's presidency, right?
I don't know.
Yep.
I don't think this director liked Bill Clinton much.
Oh my goodness.
But
Yeah, Bill Clinton liked getting blown up in the White House. Cha-ching.
Cash that one
Oh
home,
my
baby.
God.
We hit the jackpot with that joke. But, alright. What do you feel about this movie, honey? I've seen you pursing your lips a couple times. I'm intrigued to see what you have to say.
I liked it. Okay, so I think the pacing in this one is the one that was the most intriguing to me. I'm not going to say it's the best, but it's the one that's more intriguing to me because it's that fast-paced action. But I can also see how that's like a bad thing. Like, I don't think we really got enough time learning about our characters before we kind of got thrown into that action.
Yeah.
I did like the portrayal of the aliens.
Yeah.
Like, but I also don't think that we got like enough of their motivation. Like, why are they trying to destroy the planet? We didn't really get
I'd
an
agree
answer
with
to
that.
that.
I definitely agree with that. At least the tripods had, like, a motivation there, even if it wasn't explicitly said. They're mindless, you know what I mean?
I mean, we did get
Right.
like a little bit of like the president saying that he saw what the alien was thinking, and that they have been going from planet to planet and destroying it. But again, we didn't really get a why.
I think that was more the president bluffing than anything.
I mean, I don't know.
That's a coin flip of, like, maybe it was the president bluffing in front of his country. But, like, I do see what you mean by that.
But that one scene where they are talking to the alien, and the president's like, "What do you want from us?" And he's just like, "Die, die, die." That gave me chills. That was probably my favorite scene.
That was a good scene, actually, yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Like, I feel like that's an iconic moment there. But again, I feel like that build-up for that scene, though, doesn't pay off.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks in that regard, because it's fast-paced, and it makes moments like that, but it feels like you're pumping the brakes. Like, oh my god, here we go, alien invasion, there goes the White House. Oh, they want us to die? Pull over, honey, I want to hear this. Alright, that's all I have to say. Get back to the rest of the action. Like, I got nothing against, I got nothing against fast-paced action movies. We're all Marvel fans here. We can all agree. Like, but like, there has to be a purpose to this action. And as a Marvel fan, I feel like we can all agree that there have been a lot of Marvel movies in the second half after Endgame that have more action with very little plot that pays off. This isn't as bad as that, obviously, but, like, it's just a typical film for alien invasion. If anything, I feel like this was the most typical alien invasion movie, even more so than Mars Attacks.
Right. No, I agree 100%, and I'm glad someone else felt that way, because watching this movie at like, I think it was like midway through, it was like, oh my God, this is like so generic. Like, it's beat by beat. Like, there's the guy pointing up and going, ah, and then, like, it's just like everything I've seen 1,000 times before.
Yeah.
Guess what scene I laughed at?
What scene did you laugh at?
The guy that got shot and screamed. Because they never do it right.
All right, here comes her tangent, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead, honey. Talk about the scream.
Listen, if there is a stupid-ass scream in a movie when someone's getting shot, I'm going to call it out. It's even worse to me than bad special effects.
You and Christopher Lee would have gotten along so well. Because the reason he doesn't really scream in Lord of the Rings Two Towers is because literally when he's getting stabbed, obviously, it's in Return of the King he gets stabbed, that movie. The reason he doesn't really scream in that is because Peter Jackson tried to get him to, and fucking Christopher Lee looks him dead in the face and goes, "That's not how someone dies."
I love it.
Now keep in mind, this dude served in fucking World War II.
I love it.
No, it's either 2 or 1. I think it's 2. This man served in the army. He knows how people die.
I love it.
This man quite literally looked at Peter Jackson and went, no one dies like that. And showed him how someone dies and then did it.
I love it.
You and Christopher Lee would have gotten along so well in that regard, honey.
Listen.
Because I feel like
awesome.
I feel like he would have something to say too. Congratulations. You relate to one of the heavy metal members of the heavy metal band Charlemagne.
I like him. Cool.
We all like Christopher Lee. But anyways, that scream was something else.
I'm sorry.
I feel like that's the film though too. Does anyone else feel like the explosions kind of sucked?
Oh my god, I literally wrote the first thing I said, not the worst explosions I've ever seen. I've definitely seen worse.
Oh.
There was one that I will say I think would have been better with CGI. It was the one, I think he was like blowing up Chicago, whatever the city was that they were blowing up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of looked like me playing with my GI Joes in my bathtub. Like, it just like, it felt like a toy set blowing up, and you're like, that looked like shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I know the scene you're talking about. That wasn't that great. I feel like this is one of those films, because I think when it came out, it was like, it's okay, but it was a big hit, because it was a summer film with one of the hottest actors in Will Smith, and it was setting records at the time. I feel like it's one of those films that has done the reverse in an era where I feel like we look back on things more positively when it was not good back then. I feel like the more time goes on, the more I feel like time is like less forgiving to Independence Day. Especially
yes, it doesn't hold
movies.
up.
Yeah, like especially to other alien invasion movies of that era. there were typical alien invasion movies, sure, but they did something different with the invasion at least. This was just such a cut and dry action movie that you either love it, you hate it, or the majority just kind of sits there and goes, I mean, it's all right.
Why is it that most of the time when a movie has, like, a stacked cast like this, the film is utter shit?
Hey.
Or very, very mid.
Yeah. Except for Blade Runner.
Right.
Hey-yo!
Yes, except for Blade Runner. I said
True.
the majority of the time. But, like, how many awesome actors are in this movie?
There's quite a... I mean, Jeff Goldblum was amazing.
Yeah.
Jeff Goldblum, low-key attractive.
That man does no wrong. Like, I can't remember many bad films that he's been in, honestly. I don't know if you can, Ben, but I don't know a lot of films that I look at and go...
No, there's a reason why he's been acting for as long as he has at the level that he does.
Wasn't he in Ant-Man?
What'd you say, honey?
Wasn't he in Ant-Man?
Was he in Ant-Man?
No, he was in Thor.
Oh, Thor! He was good in
I
that!
thought there was one movie he was in that you didn't like, but I guess I was wrong.
Nope. He was good in that one. He was also in, funnily enough, one of your other favorite sci-fi movies from this
Oh, yeah.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah.
The 70s
I mean, I
version.
liked that
right.
one, but I still like the original better.
Oh, for sure. But like, I feel like this you bring up a good point. Probably because they spent most of the budget on the cast.
Well, right. Like, look at, what was it, Food Fight?
Food Fight?
How many
Oh!
awesome actors
no.
were in that, and that movie was awful.
Yeah. I mean, that movie had such a horrible history to begin with, but this one, I agree. I feel like because they spent so much money on the cast, they were literally like, okay, now what?
Yeah, that's fair.
And it's a different
Yep.
world back in the 90s where that type of budget, we look at that budget they had for that movie and we kind of go, oh, that's not bad compared to what we see now. Back then, that was like a huge fucking budget. I gotta look up the exact number for the budget, but back then, that was a shit ton of money for like a typical alien invasion movie. And they banked it on the acting more than anything, I feel like.
But it
Ben.
didn't have Jared Leto. Just
Oh,
saying.
Yeah.
well, thank fucking God. Changes everything.
I think so.
And according to IMDb, at one point it was the third highest grossing movie worldwide.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what?
So, yeah, here we go. This budget is literally like baby budget compared to stuff now. And this really puts into retrospect, $75 million was the budget.
Well, all right then.
Wow.
And you know what? How much it made at the box office? And this shows how many records it set.
It was like almost 700
It was
million, right?
817.4
800.
million.
Wow. Wow.
This film ran hard. And also, I forgot who the actor was for the second, but you know what? I now know why it's so mediocre, despite the big budget and
Yeah.
interesting effects.
I thought about this last night too.
Roland Emmerich.
Cool.
Yeah.
This guy made things, you would probably know him, honey, from The Patriot.
Oh, okay.
With Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
He also
Like
made the sequel.
this.
Wait, what were you saying, Ben?
Oh my God. You said the
You said
which is like even worse. But anyway, this is like Roland Emmerich's like wheelhouse, like destruction, explosions, and it's all kind of the same movie. Maybe that's why I didn't really care for it because I've seen this movie before from him.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, to be honest, he also made I forgot he made a sequel, Independence Day Resurgence in 2016.
yeah,
if explosions are like your niche, don't you think you should be better at them?
it's true.
You would think.
This is the definition of his career. It's like, dude, how have you been doing it this long?
And a good chunk of it's either mediocre or really bad. AKA, the 2 years after Independence Day, he made the American version of Godzilla.
Oh boy.
Where Godzilla gets killed by two planes.
And,
But
and everybody hated it.
garbage.
Including me. In fact, we all hated it. He fucked up so bad with that as a side tangent that a couple years later, after Godzilla's death, when Japan brought back Godzilla, they did Final Wars, it was called, where it was an action-packed movie with everybody's favorite Godzilla villains, and then the American version simply named Zilla. You want to know how that fight went? I'll tell you. Basically, they kept the shitty CGI that he was used for on purpose, and then all it took was Godzilla kind of ducking and going, "Whoa!" with his tail, launched Zilla into the Sydney Opera House, blew him up. The end.
Oh, okay.
That was the
That's
fight.
awesome.
And I feel like that is Roland's career, especially with Independence Day.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like, you get
Yeah.
you get this big budget, the effects are not all that great, there are definitely better servings out there. Explosion. That's kind of Independence Day, in my opinion. Like, I don't think anybody is at their best other than Jeff Goldblum, I feel like. The speech was great, don't get me wrong, but overall, I think the best will always be Jeff Goldblum, because he just has fun with everything. I don't even think Will Smith was at his best for this movie.
No, I don't think
I didn't-
anybody was. And I think there were too many characters, and the pacing just, it didn't work. Like, the president's wife dies, and, like, we meet her, we get to know her character a little bit, but we don't get to know her enough that becomes super impactful.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And like, I don't care about Will Smith in that movie at all. Like, his character shows up, and you're kind of like, okay, yeah, I didn't care. The president, same thing. It wasn't balanced well at all. And like at the end of the movie, I was like, oh my God, Jeff Goldblum's in this. I totally forgot. It was like, the script was not great for this.
No, it was very disappointing, and again, it's a very mediocre movie. I don't have anything else to say.
I don't either.
It's a typical sci-fi alien invasion film. It's okay for what it does. I'm glad it set all those records because it really did show how large-scale movies could get for that era, and has led into what, for better or for worse, what we have now. I don't think there's anything special about it. If I was sitting there for a mindless watch where I didn't want to fall asleep, this is probably my movie for that. Like, if I just wanted something, this is like if I wanted something in the background while I was doing something else. Like,
that's fair.
Nobody is really deep enough for me to care about, and the explosions I could just hear. I don't always have to see it. Yeah, I want the visual flair of the White House blowing up. That scene is still sick in my opinion. It is well shot, but after that, I don't care about missing anything else. I'll just put it on while I'm gaming in the background or something, I guess, if I want to.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah. I got nothing else about Independence Day.
No, I think that wraps up our fourth movie and our last sci-fi film.
It's amazing how we kind of spiraled from Blade Runner. You know, that is so funny to me. I'm glad we did that one first because I think we got everything out of the way, and then we were kind of like, yeah, that's it, I guess. we can leave now. There's no post-credit scene. See you later.
All right, Ben, do you want to tell everyone where they can find you one more time?
Yeah, so if you want to follow me on TikTok at Ben's Movie Basement or on Letterboxd, Lorelibrarian.
Yes, great stuff, honestly.
Awesome. And Benson and I will be back in the next episode to do the wrap-up of all of our sci-fi excursions, not including some that we missed.
Yeah.
And Stranger Things, which we will hopefully be adding to the end of April.
Yes.
And then we'll announce our next theme and tell you a little bit more about how the next couple of months are going to go.
Yes.
But
great times.
Until then, we will see you next time.
Bye. Everybody.
See ya.